Hello, everyone. It is Shauna the Tax Goddess coming to you live from sunny Scottsdale, Arizona. Today we have, we've got 9 days left until the corporate deadline. It's very exciting. I always love this time of year. Get to talk to all of our business clients and work with them to tweak those final little changes, the things that absolutely have to be done before the tax return gets filed to make sure that they're getting the best bottom dollar line. And of course, starting to look at what types of things do we need to be doing in 2016 before the end of the 2016 year to, again, drop those taxes. So today, what I wanted to talk to you guys about is document retention. We've been getting a lot of questions lately about how long do I need to keep documents? Do I need to be keeping them permanently, 7 years, 3 years? There's a lot of questions that are out about in the world. A lot of different answers that people are getting. So wanted to set the record straight. So if a document relates to a real estate deal, so buying a piece of property, selling a piece of property, a home, a rental property, anything like that, those documents you want to keep permanently. Now you can scan them, of course, you can have them digitized, but I have seen cases where the IRS wants to see the original piece of paper with the coffee stain, with the dog bite, in that document. So with anything related to real estate, we do highly recommend that you keep those permanently. Now, any other documents, so if those are receipts, charity donations, those kinds of things, the general recommended is 7 years. But at a minimum, assuming that you're filing your tax returns on time, the IRS can audit you at the federal level. They can audit you going 3 years back, and assuming that you have not done any gross understatement of income, which is more than 25%, which constitutes fraud. So no fraud, guys, no fraud. But as long as you're not perpetrating a fraud on the IRS government, on the IRS, they can only audit you going back 3 years. The state of Arizona, here in Arizona, can go back 4 years. So you'll want to keep your records, receipts, donations, charity, expense receipts, for your business. You'll want to keep those going back 4 years to make sure that you're covered for the Arizona audits. General idea would be to keep it 7 years back. Now, one of the questions that we get a lot is, are electronic documents acceptable? Honestly, I've seen cases roll two different ways. So I've had an IRS case before where they wanted to see the actual physical documents, and a scan was not acceptable. They tend to look at that when there's an issue with the actual bank statements themselves. So if they don't either believe that the bank statements are correct, or they believe that something's being hidden, if they're really trying to find fraud or some other kind of issue going on in the bank statements, they will actually request paper statements. So if you've changed banks, if you no longer have the same bank accounts, you're going to want to keep those records at least that 7 year time frame. But otherwise, generally scanned copies of the receipts are okay. Make sure that you always have notes on your receipts. Any receipt should be talking about who, what, where, when, why. And generally those will apply to your meals and entertainment receipts. So, if you're going out to a restaurant, why were you out with that person? Why is that particular receipt deductible? Were you out for coffee with your CPA to discuss tax strategies? So anyway, definitely make sure that you're keeping those receipts. So we'll just do a brief recap. If you're talking about anything related to real estate, you want to keep those documents permanently, right? So buy and sell HUDs, real estate tax paperwork, anything like that, you want to keep those permanently. And otherwise, any receipts you want to have for the minimum of 4 years to qualify you, at least here in Arizona, for the state of Arizona audits, and more preferably for 7 years. So if anybody has any questions on retaining their documents, what they should and should not keep, or what documents you need to have in the first place, definitely feel free to reach out to us. And of course, if there's any questions whatsoever, we're happy to answer. So I hope everybody had a happy Labor Day yesterday, and I hope everybody has a fantastic corporate deadline on September 15th. So we'll see you later. Don't hesitate to give us a call if you have any questions.